stalking that dude.
Remind me real quick.
Okay, so I found his number, added him as a contact, found his social media through that.
Oh, the one you had to like pretend like you were on a date with?
Yeah. Okay. So little update, not crazy, not crazy.
Okay.
So I had followed him, but then I psyched myself out, so then I unfollowed
Come
him.
on. Come on.
Yes. But I went to work the next day and I saw him and I told him, I was like, hey, I didn't know if this was you. I basically told him why. I told him like it just popped up as people you may know, and I was like, I don't know if this was you though, because it was like a nickname was there. He's like, oh yeah, that was me. I was like, okay, whatever, right?
Right.
Anyway, I actually ended up having him drive me home that night. And
Okay.
right, I was cooking.
Okay.
And then after that, like I told him, I was like, oh, okay, like let me pay you for driving me home. He's like, no, it's okay. Like I live like 5 minutes away, which we found out we live close to each other. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like so then I played it off. I was like, okay, you know what? If you don't like tell me yourself, like I'm just gonna FBI it, find your number and send it to you. Like pretending I didn't have it. And he was like, I'll be really impressed if you do. Whole time I have this man's number already. So I go inside and then I send it to his out, right? And then like 3 minutes later, I get a text on my number. And so he did the exact same thing. He went to Hot Schedules and he got my number. And then he had texted me and he had sent the money back. And he was like, you don't need to pay me. Like, I can drive you anytime. I don't care. You get unlimited rides, whatever. And what did he say? He was like, I was like, no, I'm going to pay you for driving me. Like, gas is expensive, whatever. And he was like, okay, how about you pay me every 15 rides if you even pay on the 14th? Like, it's not, like, I'm not going to I'm not going to give you a ride. I was like, dang. But he was like, no, I'm just joking. But seriously, I don't want your money. So that's a slight update.
Okay. So we got a ball game.
Is the ball going?
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Right?
It sounds like it.
Key.
Hey, that's why you got to shoot your shot sometimes, man. Not like aggressively, but you know, show a little bit of interest. It sounds like y'all moving in the right. How old are you two, by the way?
Sorry?
How old are you two?
19. I'm 19. He's 21.
Okay. Yeah. This sounds like it's going in your favor a little bit.
Right. You see, no risk, no reward.
Right. So what's the next play?
I have no, honestly, like an hour ago, I asked him if he worked tomorrow because we were both off today. And then, I don't know how, we were talking about the World Cup, so then I kind of like just slid my way into playing 8-ball with him for conversation's sake. So now we're playing 8-ball right now.
Okay. That's good. I would say just moving forward, don't be overly eager.
Okay.
Because you gotta kind of create some space for him to feel it.
So what should I do then?
What you're doing right now is fine. Just don't be the initiator all the time.
Okay, bad. So like after I beat him in 8-ball, just don't respond or what?
It's not don't respond. It's like just don't initiate.
Okay.
And that's not saying don't initiate at all. But like you got the ball rolling. It's up to him to continue the momentum though.
Okay, bad.
So after he starts initiating and things like that, then you can kind of like respond by initiating on your own end, right? But try to position it like he does the most of it. If he doesn't initiate with you, there's two possibilities. One, his interest really isn't that high, or two, he just is too young to really even know that's what he should do. A lot of young guys have that problem, right? Like you'll have a woman who approaches them and no one ever told them. Like some guys, like when you approach them, they think that you want them, so it's like, okay, well then she does everything. And you'll start resenting the connection if like you put yourself in that position.
Okay, bad. So let him initiate too. Okay, you see, here you go again. I said you're like the Kung Fu Panda wise turtle dude, like a fountain of wisdom. Thank you.
No problem, though. Keep me posting how it goes, though. All right.
Okay, I will do.
All right,
stay blessed.
You take care. All right. See, we got some action. Buddy said, I'll drive you home anytime. I did, Baselin. I enjoyed the 4th. Actually, I just lied, Baselin. I did not enjoy the 4th. I hate the 4th of July. Not hate. That's too strong of a word. But just too much going on, you know? What's up, man?
What's up, man? I ain't gonna lie, I did not think I was gonna be this fast. But no, but I had a thought, bro, like today, bro. So for verification purposes, I am old enough. I'm 25 years old, by the way.
Okay.
Just want to let it be known. I want to get your opinion on like, what's your opinion on this like generation of women just looking at men to like, how can I say, spin that as on them, but you don't hear them reciprocated towards men, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like,
Okay. Reciprocating how?
like when as men we gotta listen. The word trick on our woman. Like for me, like I'll trick on a woman that I love. Like, but it's like women these days, in this day and age, want us to trick on them. But
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm gonna give you some game real quick. Okay.
Come on, talk to me.
Women are kind of, and this is generally speaking, this does not always apply, but women generally speaking, if you look at historically, right, women are the weaker physical vessels, not as strong physically as us. So part of their survival was predicated on finding a man who can protect and provide. Okay? So because they're the weaker vessel, they had to find different ways to survive. One way was to find a very strong man, which is why they don't like weak men, why they don't like needy men, right? The other way that they survived was seeing what was in vogue, what was popular, and conforming to that so that the group does not kick them out. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So like historically we were in small tribes, right? If you got kicked out of the tribe, you weren't taken care of anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So part of what women would do is like they would look and see, okay, what's everybody else doing? Okay, I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
So what you'll see on social media is that wiring is still very much alive. So you'll see some women who will make videos about how they don't like men, and behind closed doors, they will be the biggest lover girls you've ever seen in your life.
Very much so true.
So they make videos about how they don't like men because it's popular to say it.
I feel it, and I agree with you. And
okay.
Also, all right, go ahead.
So connect that to that spin that shit.
Yeah.
It's in vogue. It's popular. It's trendy. So you can't take it seriously.
I see what you're saying,
bro. My mom, I've seen her date like a few men since she's been divorced. She's going through like 6 or 7 football teams that she's been a fan of.
Oh shit.
She switched teams that many times.
Oh wow.
Based on what the man she was dating was into. There are women who don't want kids. And then when they come across the right man, they magically want kids now. You cannot take that too seriously, what you see online. A lot of guys are like seeing what's posted online, and one, that's only a small segment of the personality, of the population, I mean. So that doesn't represent all women for one. Some women hate that song and what it represents, right? 2, you don't know what the reality of her is like until like you experience her and she experiences your frame, like your certainty, your confidence, how you move. They're very adaptable. They're very malleable. Like, generally speaking again, there was a woman who called in, bro, and she was dating a guy who was conservative. But her friends were all like extreme liberals. Like purple hair, like posters on the side of the highway type liberals, right? And she was terrified to bring her boyfriend around them because she really didn't care like that. It's just her friend group cared. So she just kind of took that on. But because if she really was that serious about the political ideology, she wouldn't have entertained a guy who was conservative.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of guys will see stuff on social media and they'll take it seriously. And then they'll start resenting women. I'm like, you're taking what they're saying too seriously.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, in this day and age, they say it online, but when you get it in reality, it's different. Right. And I see what you're saying, brother. Like people in this day and age in this society really take social media way too seriously, because that's only one part. We see it online, but like, for example, if we hear somebody say, "Oh," like, say for a woman, because I've literally had women tell me this before. I need a man who does this for that for me, and I'm like, okay, but you got to think: do you do that for yourself? Do you do that for yourself? You feel what I'm saying?
To your point, there is like some that have that expectation now. That's also true. Two things are true at the same time. So you will see more who have that expectation because it's like entered the cultural zeitgeist where now like impressionable women are thinking that's what they're supposed to expect. Because a lot of this wisdom of how you treat the opposite sex is passed down through like the generations.
That is
You would hear old wives' tales
true.
like women, older women would tell younger women like, "Oh, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach," right? And then they teach them how to cook. That used to be how it happened. Now you got old Smets workers giving women advice on how to engage romantically, and it's just messing the game up. But so there is two things happening simultaneously. One, people are taking what they see on social media too seriously, and then two, there is a bigger prevalence. It's more prevalent to see some women playing that zero sum game where they're looking to just enter into a transactional connection. It's just not as much as it seems to be based on what you're observing on social media.
I understand completely what you're saying, brother. I really do.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. But it could be very confusing though, because I can completely understand why guys would get. It's like you'll see women saying, "Don't approach me," but then you'll also see them being like, "Approach me." You know what I mean? And it's like, I get why the social media shit is confusing, but I think like the real problem is people are just chronically online. If guys were to talk to women in real life, I wouldn't even have to really make that, like even tell that story, because their lived experience would disprove it. Like guys be like, "Oh, they just want you for your money." Bro, I've dated more than most guys have in their entire lives. Never had a financial conversation with a woman. It's quite literally never happened. It's never happened. So I'd be like, "What are y'all talking about? Are y'all dating a different pool of women?" They were like, "No, it's women in their 20s. Well, I date them too. Well, it's because you're older. How? You would think that's who they would want to give them the money, because that's who has the money. Right? So it's like you can tell who has some degree of experience and who doesn't, who just is like taking stuff they see online and then running with it because it doesn't match the actual reality of the situation.
Okay. And that brought me into like my next question. Like, do you think, from your perspective, from dating, do you think a person's like mentality or where they are at depends on what age they are? Like, let's say from a 20-year-old to let's say a 35-year-old. Do you think there's like the mental or like the mentality is different?
When it comes to men or women,
or just in general?
In general, I mean, it's correlated. It's not causative though. People who are older tend to be more mature and wiser, but it's not a guarantee. There's some very immature 80-year-olds out there.
That I was about to say, that's the word I was looking for, maturity.
Uh-huh.
That's the word. Do you think, because I was going to say, there are people out here who, around my age, who do not act mature for their age, and they want to feed on people, whereas you see people who are younger than me who act much more mature than certain folk that I've seen. So that's what I was trying to get by. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. That's that. There needs to be a certain, like, maturity doesn't unlock until you hit a certain age. You could be mature for your age. That doesn't mean that you're very mature though, right? So there is an age requirement, but the age doesn't guarantee that you will be mature. There's a lot of people who are older than me who are extremely childish. You know? So a good rule of thumb is like 25, when like your frontal lobe develops. You can say that's like where wisdom kind of kicks in. Sub 25, probably not. But even there's exceptions to every rule. But what I will tell you though is the more mature you get, the more developed you are, the more you reduce your quote unquote options.
Reduce. Okay. Wait, because I had to think. Oh, I see what you're saying. I had to see what you're saying.
Right, because water seeks its own level. So the people that you deal with are a reflection of you. On some way, shape, or form, you're on the same level. Right? Doesn't mean you treat each other exactly the same. It just means you're on the same level. So there's a developmental deficiency. Give you an example. You hear women sometimes complain about narcissists, right? So bad. Narcissists are bad. Agreed. But the reason why a lot of them get in that situation is because they don't have any boundaries. Like narcissists hate boundaries. So if you had boundaries, they would leave you alone. They wouldn't even deal with you because they don't like it. They don't like to deal with people who have them. So the developmental deficiency on the woman's end in that situation is that she does not have boundaries. And that's what makes her a fit for the narcissist.
Brother, you're preaching.
Right? So like they're on the same level in from that perspective. That doesn't mean like they're bad. Both of them are bad. No, it just means that they are a fit because of that developmental deficiency. So the more that you up-level yourself, the more your options reduce because most people don't intentionally develop themselves. So if there's too,
they are, basically.
Right, if there's too wide of a gap, you're not going to be compatible anymore.
Because I know you're much more older than me, so it's like you got more wisdom than, and I love to learn from people who got more wisdom than this, because I really never dated anybody, but like I like to ask. I appreciate this for real.
Absolutely, bro. Come back anytime, man, with any other questions. You can even come back tonight if another one pops in your head, all right?
I really appreciate that. What's your name? Marquette.
Marquette.
Marquette? I'm going to follow you. I appreciate that, bro.
All right, big dog. You take care.
You too.
So we like that. We like the seekers. Those are my people, the seekers out there. Huh? Keep knocking at the door eventually opens. Right? All right. What other callers do we have? Also like good questions, people, because it brings more out of me. So we like the good questions. We don't like the simple ones like, why isn't he texting me back? And it's like, they don't like you like that, beloved. We like the good, meaty ones. Pause. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
So my name's Sarah. I'm from Montreal. I live in Montreal currently, and I guess like my questions really revolve around I faced significant abuse, like, you know, more than imaginable by an Indian family, a wealthy Indian family. I, by any means, don't come from anything less significant, but a wealthy Indian family, and they just don't stop, and they've taken years of my life. And obviously, you know, everything that they say, everything that they can say, everything that they can't think is a major culture gap. Because it's just like lifted off the internet. It's just like absolutely stupid. It's just a bunch of lies. I've had nothing to do with them for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And where this leaves me with, though, is a lot of abuse.
Okay.
A lot of abuse by this family. And what they do is actually go ahead and contact every single person in my life as a means of triangulation to harass and abuse me. So where this leaves me with is a lot of abuse. I just turned 34. Okay. And, you know, I have really, really, like, really good guys who like me platonically. And who are, like, just sort of waiting. And we're all just waiting for this family to sort of decide they're done mauling me. And you know, they keep these people away from me because they don't want me to have like a source of comfort and so on. So what that's left me with is a lot of abuse. And I guess like what I want to ask is, how do I move forward with this?
Okay. In what way are they impacting your life currently?
Pardon me?
In what way are they impacting your life currently?
They literally contact every single person in my life and have them, harass, attack, just, like put down the way I look, like constantly. And this is coming from a very extremely unattractive female. I would be very happy to post all of this. They kind of, pick the short stick in life, very undesirability contacts, very disturbed, very troubled, so on and so forth. But I never deserved to be dealt with the aftermath of other people's problems.
Who is this a specific family member doing that?
Yeah, no, but it is the entirety of the family because they don't stop it, and they don't stop it. They contact my entire world in Western civilization. They've had me completely isolated and abused. They try to coerce rape, and it's always rape, and it's always like coercion, having to relive that and so on. It's just and I, for those who have asked, why can't you leave? They control my entire world around me. So if I meet someone new, they will contact that person and have them attack and harass me. Everybody knows what's going on, but we just have to watch. So yeah, I guess my question was really, how do I move forward from the aftermath of all of this abuse?
Are you living with your family or something?
No, I live alone.
How are they finding the people that you deal with?
They have access to my phone, and also they
Why
have
do they
access.
why do they have any kind of access?
That's just what they do.
No, how do they have access?
They have my passwords.
Why do they have your passwords?
I don't know. They found my passwords.
Can you not
They
change?
found my
Can you
passwords. If I
not?
change it, they'll know about it
No, that's not how that works, love. If you change your passwords, how will they know the new password?
because they're monitoring my phone.
How are they monitoring your phone?
They have tons of resources at their disposal to do so, and also amount of fake stories to convince people.
All right, good call, CJ. Because now we're getting into schizophrenic territory. Is your family the Rothschilds? Like, what are we talking about? What is happening right now?
Hi.
What's going on, love?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alright, let me go somewhere quiet. Hi. Can you see me?
Yeah. What's happening?
Hi. Yeah, come in. Alright, hold on. Let me just go somewhere more quiet. I thought I was somewhere quiet. Alrighty. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I mean, stuff happens, but so yeah, I had a question because I think last time I came on here, told you I was seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I started going on dates back then that are interested in me, right? But the thing is, like, I don't know if it's the vibe I give or if it's like more like, I don't know, it's like they want to spend money on me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't mind that. I don't mind a man spending money on me.
Of
I
course.
love a man that's generous, right?
Of course. All right. Why not?
But the thing is that they want to spend money on me, kind of like buying my love.
Right.
You know? So my question is, how do I get a man that's actually intentional, not trying to buy me and want me for the sex, thinking that money is going to make me pull my drawers down?
Gotcha. So how are you meeting these men?
I'm going on cigar lounges, golf clubs. So these men are wealthy. Like, these men are well off, and successful. So I got off the dating apps. That's what you told me to do last time. And you told me to get out a little bit more, be more intentional. So I've gone to a little bit higher end. So very nice restaurants, like 4-star or 5, or not 5-star, but 4.5, like the nicer areas
Right.
where I live at.
Right. Okay. So what is your reason for going in those type of environments?
Because when I used to meet guys, I used to go on Facebook dating, I used to go on Hinge,
Okay.
and then I would go on to nightclubs, and then I would go to bars. So I wasn't really attracting men that actually wanted something serious. They just wanted to have sex with me, and take me to the bed.
Okay. Okay. So it's good that you changed like the locations that you went to, right? But it's not going to yield the outcome that you're looking for, because all you basically did was go into more established environments with men who probably are used to tricking to get what they want.
Exactly. Yes. So how do I avoid that?
So I always tell people like there's 2 ways to meet people organically. It's dynamic environments and static environments. So dynamic environments are like environments where every time you go, you see different people. Not ideal. That's like the bar, club, even some of the places you listed are technically dynamic environments. Static environments are environments where every time you go, you see the same people over and over again, right? So the benefit of that, there's many benefits of taking that approach, but one benefit is the environment itself does the filtering for you. It filters the type of person that you want. So I'll give you an example. I had a woman client who told me that she was really into professional development and she wanted a man who was more ambitious, right? So she was really into professional development and she wanted a man who was more ambitious. So I asked her, was she familiar with Toastmasters, the organization Toastmasters? It's a organization that teaches you how to publicly speak, right? So I told her, if you went into an environment like that, worst case scenario, even if you don't meet someone, you're learning to publicly speak, which is professional development, right? So you improve the quality of your life by putting yourself in that environment. The second thing is that environment selects for ambitious men. A man who goes to Toastmasters is likely to be more ambitious. So you just gotta be a bit more thoughtful about like the environments you put yourself in. So what the exercise I give women clients is to draw like 2 concentric circles, so 2 circles that intersect. On one side, you write down what you're interested in and what your values are. On the other side, you write down the qualities that you want your ideal man to have. And then where the 2 circles intersect, you write down the static environments that select for both of those traits, right? So if you're really into nature and you want a man who is into health and fitness, a static environment that may match that is a hiking club. It's like if you go to the hiking club, you get to be out in nature, so you get to be happier. But then the men who are a part of the hiking club are likely to be more into health and fitness. So you want to be intentional about the environments you're putting yourself in. The environments you're putting yourself in just filters for men who have money. But that doesn't speak to their character, at least not relationally. It speaks to their character as far as like they may be persistent and ambitious, sure, but it doesn't speak to anything else, right? So it's just being a bit more intentional. That's all.
Right. Okay. So just probably changing my environment again. So I deleted the apps, but now I gotta be more intentional where I'm going.
Right. And remember, when you go there, the goal isn't to like find a love or anything like that. That's like a positive byproduct. The goal is for you to like just connect with people, right?
Oh, okay.
The goal is just connect. Is spread positive vibes, connect with other women platonically, men platonically, and potentially meet a romantic connection, because dating problems are usually just social problems. So every friend that you make, every acquaintance that you make can potentially be a doorway to leading you to that romantic connection that you want to have.
Right.
So you don't want to go scout.
In terms, because I'm 26, so I'm ready to settle down. Right. I'm really ready. Like I was engaged at the age of 23, or like early 23. I'm ready to get married in like 2 years, right? So how do I find a good man? Because I don't even know what's going on. Why am I not having luck finding a man that's actually like good in my eyes? Am I too picky?
I don't know. You gotta tell me what you're looking for.
I definitely want a generous man.
Okay.
So a man that is a provider. I want a family-oriented man.
Okay.
And I also want somebody that takes care of their health.
Okay. Provider, family-oriented man, and someone who takes care of their health.
And Christ-driven.
Christ-driven. Okay. So I would select for the Christ-driven trait because that extends to everything else you listed. If someone's Christ-driven, they're likely to be a provider. They're likely to be family-oriented. So women who are Christian, one example of a static environment that I give them, because some people will be like, oh, just go to church. Problem with that is a lot of people in church just go out of habit or routine. They don't really live a life like that, right? So an example that I gave a Christian female client was maybe join different Christian volunteer organizations. Somebody...
Remember, we talked about this. I already do that.
Yeah. So find more, right? Just find more and experiment with it, because someone who is going to volunteer for Christian reasons is likely to take it more seriously. You know, it's not guaranteed.
Right.
It's not guaranteed. I'm not saying if you do that, you're absolutely going to meet the person, but you might as well, right? You might as well like put your best foot forward. It's like you can't force your timeline. Like, you're a Christian, so you know this. God controls the harvest. Your job is to plant seeds. Putting yourself in these environments is essentially you planting seeds. You have to be a good farmer in order to expect the harvest. A lot of Christian people expect God to just do it for them, but you have to give him something to work with. Giving him something to work with is planting seeds. The more seeds you plant, the more things he has to work with, right? That's what being a good farmer is. So your version of planting seeds is going to be putting yourself in these static environments, showing yourself as friendly, cultivating the fruit of the Spirit so that when you get around these people, they can see you as their own, right? So that your light shines bright. And then trust it to happen when it's supposed to. But you can't force it. If you have any kind of like timeline in your head, you're going to disappoint yourself. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
You know?
I do have one more final question. So I'm a type of woman where I kind of have some type of body, right?
Right.
So I got a little bit of behind, right?
Right. We talked
so
about,
when I wear
we
certain
talked about
outfits, I'm sorry?
that. I said we talked about that. The cake factory.
Yeah, I know. But look, this is an issue that I'm running into.
Right.
I'm dressing more modest, right?
Okay.
But a little bit of sexy, you know, a little bit, just a tiny, like a little splash. But the thing is, when I wear certain outfits, right, you can see my body. And of course, men love to see that type of body, right, and women. And that's why men like to spend money on me, because they're like, oh my gosh, she just looks so, whatever. But am I supposed to like wear like baggier clothes so that I'm not, like, men are not lusting over me? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore, because I'm like, I wear these nice dresses, you know, like that are kind of not tight fitted, but semi-tight.
Right.
And I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's the clothes I'm wearing. I've
No.
definitely changed the clothes, but
It's the environment you're putting yourself into.
oh, okay,
Right.
it's back to the environment.
It's the environment you're putting yourself in. It's that environment selects for certain type of people, right? If you, I think, don't you have like face tats?
I do.
Okay, that ain't helping you.
And I have fingers too, and I have my chest.
Finger tats aren't that big a deal. Chest, getting close, but that's not that big a deal. The face one is going to have people like immediately put you in a particular category.
And I'm in the
100%.
process of getting them removed.
Okay.
But it's expensive. So I'm using makeup.
Okay.
You know, so the thing is, like, you see, like, you guys can't see it, right? You
Right.
can't see my face tattoo, but you can see this one, right?
Right.
But if I take it off, you can see it now. But I use my hair to cover it. Like,
Right.
nobody could tell I have a face tattoo up there. But I'm in the process of getting them removed. So you
Right.
think that the face tattoos was making them think that I'm really like a
No,
straight,
it's
you know?
it's mainly the environment you're putting yourself in. It just doesn't help. So you want to make it as easy as possible. You don't want anything to be like going to be a sign of like, okay, put this woman in this category. Because it's just pattern recognition. People see stuff like that, they think about where they've seen it before, and they're like, oh, club girl, club girl, club girl. Okay, so I guess this is a club girl, so I need to treat her that way. This is how it works. Everyone's like that. So you don't want to make it harder for yourself, right? It's like the equivalent of like going to a job interview and you have like a sweatsuit on. It's like you're making it harder for yourself. You could be a great candidate, but the world we live in, people are going to judge you by first impressions. They just are. So if you already have your build, that's enough. That's enough. The build is not going to be a problem. But when you combine that with the face tats, okay, now we're starting to look like a character I've seen before. So let me treat you like this character that I've seen before. Okay. So if you can get rid of it, that's fine. But if you can't, do what you can to make that not a problem.
So I did see a comment, and as a man, I want to get your honest opinion. Do you think my voice could be another factor to why men treat me the way they do?
I don't think your voice at all. Like, I haven't talked to you enough to even pick up on like the verbiage that you use. I wouldn't curse a lot.
Oh, I don't curse.
Okay, good.
Do I curse? I didn't curse.
No, you haven't cursed up here at all. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't do that. But no, your voice is fine. There's nothing about your voice that I was
Somebody in the comments said your voice is what's making them think that you're one of those.
It's primarily your environment, and then secondarily the aesthetic, specifically the face tats, that would have people put you in a particular category. You change those two things, you'll change your experience.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, love. Let me know how it goes, all right?
I'll see you later.
All right. Bobby, where you come from, man? Knuckles is crazy. My man Knuckles says, see you tomorrow. Yo, the chat be frying me, bro. I be trying to keep it together, and then the chat just comes. And I can't hold it in. It's not her voice. I think people mentioned the aggression in her tone. I can see that. It's just when I hear that, I think about other women who I know who are married in Christian marriages, and it's like, that's less of a concern. Is it helping? No, but it's not. No one's going to be like, everything else about you is perfect. It's just the voice. Like, that's not going to really be a problem. Because I think like you get to a certain point where the shit is just performative. If your voice sounds the way it sounds, I think that changing too much, it's like now you're not even being yourself no more. You know what I mean? You want to keep yourself, but then soften the edges a little bit. So what we just told her to do was like soften in the edges. All right, who else do we got? Who else do we have? Remember, if you want to call in, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up and solve your issue. I don't even know what Maya said. I'm not going to read it. I don't even know what Maya said. I'm not going to read it. Y'all not getting me tonight. Okay? Y'all not getting me tonight. Lolo, you catch me in the right mood, I can be. But you know I can get spicy too. Y'all already know that. Y'all already know that. Again, if you have a question, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. How do we ask questions? You can ask questions in the chat. As far as calling in, I'm on TikTok live right now, so that's the only way to call in and speak live. But I can see your question in the chat, YouTube and Facebook from here. So if y'all have a question, y'all can drop it as well. If I don't have a caller, I'll answer. If I do have a caller, unfortunately, I'll have to ignore it. How do I book a session with you? Because my question was after this abuse. You can DM me the word coach, and I'll send you a link to book your call. Said Loverboy Lenny got marked too soft today. Come on. When have you known me as being soft, bro? Come on. Come on. Come on. What are we talking about? Gigi, what's happening, love? We got wifey in the chat right now. We got wifey in the chat right now. I'm about to get back out there soon. Y'all pray for me. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I like your hunter-gatherer reference. Do you read a lot of evolutionary psychology? Not a lot. I've read some Dr. David Buss per the suggestion of Ty Lopez. So yeah, I think it's like over-indexed on. Everything is over-indexed on. Is my conclusion. Like, you'll see people talk about attachment styles, and then they think everything is attachment styles. If you talk to someone who's in evolutionary psychology, then they think everything is evolutionary psychology. So people just don't have range. There's a good book on range. It's called Range. It's like you need to have range. You need to have multiple tools. So that's what I do. I try to get as many mental models as I possibly can. Can you give us a mini lecture on it? I'm not prepared for that, brother. Maybe tomorrow live I can do that. Maybe tomorrow's live I can do that. Hello. Hello. All right. It's mad funny we'll be talking about someone knowing they still in here. Right. Right. Typo, what you got going on, man? You gonna throw us some shots? I don't talk about game anymore, man. I normally talk about game. That's how I got into this, teaching men like how to be more attractive. Y'all got me talking about attachment styles and all this other kind of stuff. Do you answer questions, messages from YouTube? Yeah. You drop it in the chat, bro. I can see it from here. I can see it from here. Can guys go up? Absolutely. Love when my fellas come up. Just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. But yeah, man, I had a client today I was putting on game, and I was like, it feels good to get back to my roots, baby. It feels good. Just been trying to figure out how to be more directly indirect. Where do you think you're talking about, like approaching in person, right? I feel like that's your situation. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. What's going on?
Gosh, I feel really embarrassed about even calling in for this because, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so I've been dating this guy for about 2.5 months, and I met him online, and we're both a little bit older. He is 60, so I was thinking, okay, maybe he is more settled, mature, and everything. He was looking for, one person in a relationship. That's what I'm looking for as well. Mm-hmm. And he has been in the military before, but the thing is, okay, he'll go to bed at 8:30 every night, right before work. He's got a good job, really good house. He's got his head on his shoulder. Just a lot of things in line, he's not a whore in the streets or anything like that. He's really grounded.
I hope not.
And you know what I mean? He's, because there's a lot of men out here that even though they're a certain age, their mindset is like they're in their 30s. Or 20s, so they're not, even though their age is there, their mentality is not. And I'm not for that. And I can see it very clearly in a lot of men that I've come across. But anywho, I digress. Sorry. So, like I said, it's been 2.5 months. And the first week, we were both texting, calling, blah, blah, blah. I'm respectful of him going to bed at 8:30 at night. So he'll call me sometime before he goes to bed. He sent me the good morning text. I'm an Aries. He's a Gemini. Geminis, I know, can be kind of weird. I've looked up the signs. I don't look at it as a T, but I do have some knowledge that they're very different type of signs. I hope you're not a Gemini. If I'm talking about you, I'm sorry, but I'm serious. They're a little different.
Okay.
And so, I was like, oh my gosh, not a Gemini with the twin personalities. But anyway, I digress again. So anyway, so things have progressed, and we went out. We had dinner. He's very different than I am. He's very kind of quiet. He seems kind of, I don't know, shy. Because I asked him, I said, are you shy? He says no. And so, like 2.5 weeks, well, maybe that first night we met, went to his house, we watched the movie. He asked me if I wanted to stay. I said, no, he said, because it's getting late. So I said, no, I left and everything. We talked. And so fast forward, he doesn't plan a lot. It's like I asked him before, I said, your last relationship, why did it break up? He said, well, she wasn't reciprocal, like she never ever cooked for me, and I was like, okay, so I could, I'm taking mental notes. These are things that he likes, it's not like he's, wanting a whole lot. Those are things that I can do or whatever. So anyway, so just like we did become intimate, and I don't regret anything, we're older, whatever, there's nothing, wrong with that, whatever. So anyway, and he hasn't pulled back, but he's just very passive. I find myself saying, well, I'm off this weekend. If I'm seeing someone, it's just like my expectation that, we're going to try to see each other that weekend because we don't see each other during the weekday, So if you're off, then it's just like, okay. But if I don't mention it, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go check on my property, and then something will happen, and then we haven't met up or anything. So so then we went out a couple of weekends, stuff like that. Not both weekends, either that Saturday, not the Sunday, And so what has happened now is like we went out a couple of weeks ago, and he had told me, he said, I said, I see you kind of, are you losing interest, because you're really quiet, you're not, we don't call as much as text. He said, well, that was in the beginning. I was like, well, damn, you're not supposed to start something and not continue it. It's too early on, don't send me the representative. And I told him, I said, I'm not somebody that's chasing, you or anything. I want the same effort. So he said, well, he said, I talked to my friend about you and stuff like that. And we were talking, I've never been to your house. And he said, if you had never been to my house before, you would be thinking that I'm having affair, I'm messing around or whatever. And I said, well, I just never thought about that. I said, because sometimes.
All right, love. The mods have muted you because the story's going on very long. Can we just get to the question? What's the question that you have here? And I'll ask you questions so that I can fill in any kind of gaps. So you can unmute yourself real quick.
Oh, I didn't know I had muted myself. I'm sorry. So my question is, how do I go about trying to, he said he was going to start planning, but how do I go about getting him to communicate more? Like we don't even talk during the day. He'll text me sometime at night or call me. He texts me every morning, good morning, but we don't talk at all during the day because it's a job. And, I work ER, so I'm busy too. So how do I get him to like initiate and plan more and just not be so laid back? I don't know. It's a headache.
Okay. How old are the two of you?
He's 60. And I can't say, I'm 56.
You're 56?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. I thought you were going to tell me like 40 or something.
No.
I had like 10 jokes prepared. You ruined it.
No.
All right. So 56 and 60. Okay. And how did y'all meet?
We met on Hinge. He says he doesn't date more than one person at a time because, the first thing I was thinking, maybe he, someone else is sending him messages. He's texting, other people. He says he only dates one person at a time, So I'm like, okay. He said it doesn't have anything to do with another woman. So, and I am making arrangements for him to come to my place. He's got a business trip. So it will be reciprocal. So he won't feel like there's somebody that I'm hiding from him at my place,
You know what? I don't feel like dating apps are that big of a deal once you get to y'all's ages. I was going to give you the...
Don't say it like that. I don't feel like I'm that age. I feel like I'm younger.
Well, you feel how you want to feel. But you had some laps around the sun, for sure. Okay. So, 60, 56. And how long have y'all been talking?
For 2.5 months.
2.5 months. Was he initiating and doing the things you're complaining about at the beginning?
I mean, he's always been very laid back. And I would text and everything, and I would call, and then it was like back and forth, back and forth. And then he started texting me first quicker than I would text him good morning. And then, but now it's kind of like tonight. He got off work. I got off work. He didn't text or call tonight. Yesterday, Saturday, we were supposed to get together. I got off work early. And then one of his guy friends came by, and he said, my friend stopped by, and for a visit. And granted, I didn't tell him until I got off early because I didn't know I was going to get off early. But I just expected him to say, well, why don't you come by? But, his friend was there. So I was like, well, damn, So then I called back that night around 9:30, and he probably was already asleep. Because a lot of times I'll call if I get off late or whatever, and he'll wake up, he'll say, oh, I'm already in the bed,
Has he ever been married before?
Yes.
How long was the marriage?
I didn't get into that part of it. I know I need to dive a little bit deeper into that.
Okay. Now you don't know why the marriage ended?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I do have to get to that level with that, because now that I'm seeing how his relationships or dating ships start, I'm like, okay, is this a pattern? Because he was in a relationship. He wasn't even in a relationship. He said he dated someone for 9 months. I said, so why didn't you call it a relationship? Why didn't you say a progressive relationship? He said, I don't know. So, but he did say she never cooked for him. So he felt like that was kind of odd. It was just something that rubbed him the wrong way. So I'm thinking the reciprocal part is playing into that as well, and I don't mind taking a man out on dates. I don't mind, because I don't feel like it's always just for the man. You know what I mean? I'm all for like helping out, doing some stuff too, surprising. I gave him some surprises for his birthday, and I was the only one that gave him a gift, so it's not like I'm like, do this for me,
Does he have any children?
He has 2 boys. They're in their 30s, and he's not from Atlanta area. He's from New Orleans. So, I was like, well, dang, is he seeing the man? He's not, I just feel like, what is wrong? What is the problem? It shouldn't be this hard, like you said.
When did you notice a behavioral shift?
It probably was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's when I asked him. We were at dinner, and I asked him straight up,
Hold on. 2 or 3 weeks ago. When did y'all first get physically intimate?
Maybe we had been together for maybe about a month and a half. Yeah.
Month and a half. And y'all been together for how long? You say y'all been dealing with each other?
About 2.5 months.
Okay.
But we don't get to see each other that often because I only off every other weekend. He's off every weekend, but I do try to get off early but he's always asleep at 8:30 during the weekday. Even if I want to come by after work, he's asleep at 8:30 because he gets up,
Right. So how frequently do y'all see each other?
Like, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks because this past weekend, the 4th, I got off early. He didn't know it was just my weekend work, and he was hanging out with his friend. And when I sent him a text and I got off early, he said, oh, I'm so glad you got off early. And I was expecting him to say, why don't you come by? And he didn't.
Hey, hold on. We got to just try to answer the question I'm asking.
I'm sorry.
It's going to take forever if you don't do that.
I'm so sorry.
So you're fine. Just, so remind me again, how frequently do y'all see one another?
Every other weekend.
Every other weekend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long he's been single?
He said, I think it's probably been, maybe like almost a year.
Okay. Almost a year. All right. I will tell you this. I'm going to renege on like the thing I said earlier. I'm not a fan of dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
The pool that you date in matters. The environment that you date in matters. And what makes dating apps so bad there's like 100 different things I can give you right now. Don't get me started. But just one thing is you're just a kid in the candy store.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you do match with someone, you have a good connection. If your perfect type matches with you, you're going to ignore it? Most people won't. Most people are going to entertain it. I think he probably told you he's only dealing with one person at a time just to get ahead of it. He is 60. I would imagine he's been around the block. He knows how things work. The time that y'all slept together somewhat aligns with the time that you saw a change in behavior. Not perfectly,
No.
but the shift occurred after intimacy is what I'm telling you.
Well, actually, it picked up, but then it kind of decreased.
Picked up for how long?
It picked up like he was more communicating, calling more often after work, stuff like that.
No, what I mean is how long did it pick up?
Up until like 2 weeks ago, for about a month.
Okay. Were y'all continuing to sleep with one another? Were y'all continuing to sleep with one another?
We only slept together twice.
Okay. Why is that?
Because we only see each other every other weekend, and that's not all the time, because some weekends like he's out of. I'm working. One time we were supposed to get together, just sit in a line. I had to do some things too.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.
And I asked him if he was not into me anymore. He said no. He said if I had a problem with you, I would tell you.
Mm-hmm.
He said I like you. He said I'm just slower. He said just give it progress. And I'm like, well, damn. Okay. But
No. Here's the thing. You want to pay attention to whether behavior and words align.
right.
So he picked up after physical intimacy, after y'all had sex. That's not.
Well, it was going great, and then it was the same, but then it picked up more, and then it continued more. But then when the reciprocity come about, because he's like, you could have a whole husband at home, and you've not even invited me to your house. And I was like, well, I've never invited anybody to my house that quick. He said, well, if I had never invited you to my house, you would think that I had someone in my house, a woman or something.
Uh-huh.
He said it shouldn't be different for women than men.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And so I said, okay, I'll invite you to my place.
So has he came over to your place yet?
Not yet, because this is the holiday weekend I worked, and then so this coming weekend I'm going to invite him over.
Okay. So you can continue entertaining it if you want. I wouldn't, but you can. You don't need to ask 21 questions though about what his intentions are, because that would assume that people don't have the ability to lie. People lie all the time. So asking the question is not getting you any useful data. You have to observe behavior. Behavior is where the truth is. But you specifically want to observe if behavior aligns with what they're saying, because that tells you how internally congruent they are. When words don't align with behavior, that means there's some internal incongruence. And one of the biggest red flags is cognitive dissonance. If people are not on one accord with themselves, they cannot possibly be on one accord with you. Okay? So your job right now is simply to pay attention. I would say that him wanting to come over to your house kind of doubles the odds of y'all sleeping together more.
Not really, because we don't live that close.
Okay. But still, it still increases the odds, because it's like now excuses can be made to just come over to each other's houses instead of to like a neutral location. Right? So that seems to be the goal there. So that's what I would say. I would say, like, do you want like a relationship? I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if this is the way he's going to be, I'm not going to be, I don't like, this is just starting off. So I was like, 2.5, because I'm not used to that. 2.5 months, I'm thinking, well, I'm already in the relationship. Most people are saying I want you in a relationship.
Right.
For me, in my history.
Yeah, about 3 months. Guys know. Men know within 3 months. If they like you and if they're emotionally available, you'll typically know within 3 months. Only thing that could possibly slow this down is the distance. But usually that pattern holds.
Well, it's like 40 minutes. I mean, not bad, but
40 minutes ain't no.
I know.
That ain't no distance at all. 40 people they'll do 40 minutes. So yeah, I would have like an internal timeline that you don't share to see if any kind of progression takes place. And if it doesn't, then you just end the connection.
Okay.
Right? There's no more pleading and trying to get clarity from him. It's like,
Yeah, it's
Just look-
exhausting.
right, just look at the behavior. Just look at the behavior. Right? And give space for the behavior, because another mistake that women make here is when the man doesn't initiate, they start initiating more. And you start to play the masculine role. You got to give the man space to fill in. You got to create the space for him to fill it. So a lot of women are like, oh, he didn't text me good morning, so I'm going to text him good morning. And now you find yourself the one texting good morning every day. You got to give a space for him to fill. That doesn't mean you can't initiate at all. No, you can. But you got to give him space to do it if that's what you want. Okay? And if he doesn't do it, then that's data. That's something to pay attention to. Okay? So you're in the pay attention phase right now. Okay? But have that internal timeline.
Right.
When the internal timeline, like I have people play this in two ways. You have the internal timeline, and then when that time elapses, you draw a line in the sand and just be like, I want a relationship. It doesn't seem like that's something that you want. So, you can just let me know that now. But if that's not if you're not ready for that, I just don't see this working. And then you walk. So you make them decide, right? You don't need to do that in your situation. You just need to have an internal timeline. If he does not cross that threshold himself within that time period, then just walk.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
No problem,
Thank you.
dear.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
lucky.
Bye.
Oh, 1 second. There was a question on YouTube. My wife feels like I'm not emotionally intelligent. How can I make myself more emotionally intelligent in a general sense? There's a good book you can read called Letting Go by David Hawkins. That'll up-level your emotional intelligence for sure. But it will be cognitive. You have to start not being so detached from your emotional landscape, meaning you have to start actually feeling your emotions. So it's going to be part intellectual understanding, the other part you actually feel your feelings. And that'll help. It's not going to solve the complete problem, but it will certainly be progress. Let me see. Okay, Stargirl, what's going on?
Hi. Thank you for adding me. I've been seeing your live on my For You page for a while and wanted to come in, so I'm glad I got the chance.
Glad you're here, love. What can I do
Okay.
for you?
So I'm gonna start off. So I'm 23, and I feel like, so the question that I have is about, like, I don't know if it's a problem or what, but this is the case. So there's this guy, he likes me, right? And for a while, like, I'm recently baptized, and I keep telling myself that the type of relationship that I want a God-fearing man. I want somebody that, even though I'm young, like, I know I want to get married because that's something that I've always wanted for myself. I want to settle down. I want to serve God together with my partner and stuff like that. And it's like, I really want to start now in the sense that I want to grow with that person now. Even if we don't get married right now because we're still young, like, that's the goal in the future. And there's this guy, and he likes me and everything, but it's like, I don't know. It's like he honestly gives me the ick in so many ways. It's like the things that I prayed for, the things that I'm looking for, when he does them, it throws me off. Like, I feel so, like, weirded out in myself. I'm like, yo, what is going on with this guy? Like, if he asks me for a hug, I'm like, yeah, you need to calm down. Like, I just feel like he's going fast, and he keeps saying, oh, I love you. Not love you, but I like you, and I really want you in my life, da-da-da-da. He's like, oh, I don't know what's happening, but I feel like God is leading us, da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, you need to slow down. And I'm trying to figure out internally, is it that I find this guy weird, or I find what he's doing weird, even though these are the things that I'm looking for? He comes to church with me. He comes to my church. I visit his church, stuff like that. And it's like he's doing what I'm looking for, but it's like I'm trying to figure out if it's me that's a problem. That, like, because sometimes I feel like I really don't want a relationship right now. And then it's like, I'm like, is it that I really just don't like this person like that? You get what I'm saying? Because I keep telling him, like, we can be friends right now. We can grow from that. But it's like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like we're going to grow from
How long have you been dealing with him?
For a couple months.
Okay. How did you feel about him in, like, the first month?
I thought he was cute, and then as I learned more about him, seeing that he's a Christian, he's also baptized and everything. He's also trying to, like, go for what I'm going for, meaning trying to serve God. It's like, but it's like, I don't know. It's just little things that he does. It's like he keeps looking at me sometimes, and I'm like, bro, why is this man looking at me? And it's like he'll ask for a hug, and I'm like, ooh, I really don't want to hug you. And I'm like, I'm a touchy person, but I find myself telling him like, I really don't like when people touch me. So it's like,
Okay.
I'm like, do I even like this person? But
What,
he
the first-
is cute, and it's like I find myself missing him too, because it's like we worked at the same place, and now that we don't, I'm like, oh, you know, I really miss this person. Like I want to talk to
Okay,
him.
hold on.
When he doesn't text me, I feel bad.
Hold on. So first week, how did you feel about him?
I just saw him as a friend, honestly.
Okay.
Like I just saw him, thought he was cute. You know, I didn't really know much about him.
Thought he was cute,
And I
like
was into
physically?
him. Yeah.
Okay, how old are you two?
I'm 22 and no, I'm 23 and he's 25.
Okay. And have y'all like going on dates and stuff like that?
Well, he has, and that's the thing. He has invited me on a date before, but I was sick, so I canceled. I was like, yeah, I can't. But then after that, because when he told me, he was like, oh, I want to date you. I'm like, yeah, but I like a person that plans. I like a man that plans and is able to plan and just let me know, yo, I made this plan, and you get ready. He has a car and everything. I'm like, just let me know. I'm taking you here. Get ready this time. I'll come pick you up, whatever the case may be. And when he asked me on a date that day, he was like, so I'm like, do you have a plan? Where are we going? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, that's not a plan, so I'm not going anywhere. And then after that, he hasn't really asked me out. So, yeah.
So y'all are just like seeing each other at church?
Yes, we do see each other at church, and we see each other at work as well. And he'll come visit me at home.
Okay. So there was no point in time where you were actually attracted to him?
A little bit, yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even now, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's physical attraction. And that's not something I want to base my relationship off.
Okay. How would you define like the type of man that you want to be with?
I feel like I'm a very emotional person. I feel like once I can connect with you emotionally, intellectually, that's something that really, like, you know, turns my knob in a sense. Because it's like, you look
Okay,
good.
I don't
you
need
don't have
the
anything
I don't
else to
need
offer
the
me.
beloved. I don't need the why. Try to answer just the specific question that I'm asking. So just
Okay.
list out traits. Bullet point this out for me. What traits
Okay.
does the guy that you're into typically have?
Tall, God-fearing, emotionally intelligent, a career-driven person, somebody that knows what they want, like, you know, and like works hard, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, and what traits is he missing? Please.
None, actually.
Okay. All right. So he has the traits that you say that you like,
Yeah.
and yet you find yourself moving away from him. So, what type of men have you usually dated?
Not drastically different, but I feel like they're like people who are less emotionally intelligent than I am.
In what way?
Okay. So I feel like I really don't even know. It's like, it's different. Because the people so I'm Jamaican and he's Haitian. So I feel like that's kind of a barrier as well. And I usually date Jamaican men.
Okay. How would you describe the men that you've dated?
Half of them not goal driven at all. They're like, yeah, physically they're similar. Just on the personality wise, like, I just feel like they weren't goal driven as goal driven as I am. They don't know where they want to go. Like, you can ask them, where do you see yourself in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? They don't know. They're just going with the flow type of people.
How do they treat you?
How? Ye- Like, one off, honestly, because it's like half the time I'm the one texting. A lot of the time they're not planning any dates with me. They're not trying to build a future, and they were definitely not trying to focus on God either.
Okay.
And that's a big deal for me.
Gotcha. So in those relationships, do you feel like you were doing a lot of the chasing?
Definitely.
Okay. What's happening here is you're likely anxiously attached. Do you know what that means?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So when you're anxiously attached like that, you have a fear of abandonment. But more importantly, you tend to choose people who make you feel anxious.
Okay.
So when they're not emotionally available, when they're not prioritizing you and kind of being hot and cold and keeping you confused, that triggers you, makes you feel anxiety, because you're anxiously attached. You need clarity, you need certainty, right? So when they don't give you that certainty and clarity, it makes you lean in. Think about like if you watch a movie where there's like a mystery element.
Yeah.
When you're trying to figure the movie out. In the process of trying to figure the movie out, you literally become more invested in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with these men. You can't figure them out. You don't get the certainty. The anxiousness will only go away if you have certainty, so you lean into the connection. In the process of leaning into the connection and trying to figure them out, they become more psychologically significant because they're just taking up more of your thoughts. You're thinking about them more. As they become more psychologically significant, they become more emotionally significant until you just fall in love with them, right? Anxiety in the body feels the exact same way as excitement. So anxiously attached people typically don't even label it as anxiety. They label it as like excitement. They feel excited in the connection. All they know is they feel very strongly about this person. What you're dealing with right now is you're dealing with a man who does not create that anxiety. So you don't feel as if it is exciting and you are bored with it.
Yeah.
And you're looking for a reason to leave because you're bored with it. The reason why I know that is because you were attracted to this guy at first. And the way that he shows up right now is how he's always shown up. If you could tell the difference, you're sabotaging. Here's a real easy heuristic. Heuristic is just a fancy word that means like how to quickly make a decision. You know you're sabotaging something when the things the person is doing you used to like, and then magically you don't like it no more. It's completely different if like they change their behavior. But if you liked it last week and you don't like it this week, you're sabotaging.
Yeah. Can I answer a few of the comments?
Don't focus on the comments.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's going on here, love. Like, you don't know what actual true desire feels like, what true attraction feels like. I'll tell you how to tell the difference. If genuine attraction and desire is basically you being curious about the person, you enjoying your time with them, and looking forward to seeing them again. If you feel that way, it's genuine. Attachment activation is when you feel a lot of anxiety in the connection. If he was to pull away from you and start acting cold, you would magically be into this. Overnight.
Okay.
If he just stopped texting you so much and kind of gave you the cold shoulder a little bit, you'll be like, oh, what's going on? You would probably start texting him more. Hey, everything all right? You'll feel that anxiety. And then magically, it's the love of your life overnight. That's how it works. You got to be able to tell the difference. It's incredibly important for you to hear my words right now.
Yeah.
I need you to understand me. There are women who are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old who have not figured this out. This doesn't go away. You won't just magically solve this problem. You can potentially be stuck in the same pattern for decades. Decades. You're young right now. Don't waste the time. Apply what I'm talking about, or waste decades and then come on the back end when you're like 40 or 50 years old, when it's a lot harder to make the change.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So what I would tell you to do is, if you lean into this connection, we tend to choose what is most familiar, not what is best for us. What's most familiar to you is likely chaos. Your nervous system isn't thinking. It doesn't know your list of men that you like, right? All it knows is familiar, unfamiliar, okay? So when it experiences something that's familiar, it's basically thinking like, oh, I've survived that before. I know what it's like for a guy to be hot and cold. I know what it's like for me not to have clarity. I don't prefer it, but I know that I can handle it because I've handled it in the past. I've survived it. When it experiences something that's unfamiliar to your nervous system is like death. Because it hasn't survived that experience before. So it's like, I'm not going to go in that direction because it's unknown. I ain't never experienced it. I don't know what to expect. So I'd rather go over here where I'm used to this experience. If you lean into this connection, you will send the signal to your nervous system that this is not a threatening experience. It happens over time. It's not going to be night and day. It's not going to be like overnight. But it happens over time. If you lean into this connection, you send the signal to it that it's like, oh, this is something that is not a threat. That means I can relax and not try to get her out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You either do it at 23 or you do it at 53 when it's a lot harder. It's your choice.
Oh, Lord. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening.
No problem, dear. You take care.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully we saved one. My older ladies in the chat, it's never too late, but we all know it gets harder. It definitely gets harder. Definitely gets harder. Okay, so if you can figure this shit out when you're young, that is ideal. There's always hope. You can change your situation no matter your age, but do not fool yourself. It does become more difficult. Think of it like investing, right? If you want to invest for retirement, better to do that at 20. It's super easy to hit your financial markets for retirement if you start investing at 20. Hard to do if you start at 50, isn't it? You gotta do a lot more work at 50. If that's when you start. So, same rules apply here. All right. All right, who do we have next? Also, if you want coaching, hold on one second, J-Mom. If you want coaching, you can just DM me the word coach and I'll send you a link for your 1-hour coaching call. So if you're spiraling, if you don't know what to do, if you're anxiously attached and you're like, I don't know how to solve this, I don't want to be one of those people who is trying to solve this at 70 years of age, I can help you with that in a 1-hour coaching call, right? You'll get two things. You'll get clarity over your situation, so you know exactly what is happening and why it's happening. You'll also get a step-by-step roadmap, so you'll know exactly what to do next in your specific situation, so you don't spend the next 6 months spinning your wheels. So just DM me the word coach, and I'll send you a link for that. People on Facebook, YouTube do the same thing, and you can book your call so we can solve this problem for you, all right? Okay, J-Mom.
Hello?
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Chilling.
I had called last week. I don't know if you remember me, but I was calling back with an update. I was dating a guy for over 3 months. Met on the BLK app.
Right, I remember.
So, yeah, I had to talk with him. Basically, I was asking him, like, saying, like, we've been talking 3 months. Like, what does he think about me and how does he see me, like, in the future? And he basically said he enjoys hanging out with me. I have a dope personality and we have fun together. And I asked him, did he see me long term? He said yes, he does see me long term. He said it's just, and I asked him, was he talking to other girls? He said no, he wasn't. He said it just takes him time to really open up and to invite like people into his lives. He's just really like particular and stuff like that, about who he brings around, inviting in his life and stuff like that. So that's basically how the conversation ended, but he didn't actually say, like, I guess when's the day, like, if he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. So my question is, should I still give it a couple more months or just move on?
What did I tell you? This is the same guy from the BLK app, right?
Yeah.
All right. What did I tell you to do after the first time you called him?
I'm trying to remember. You told me to go ahead and ask him. You said just ask him and see what he says. That's all you said.
Anybody here remember that call?
You said,
1 second. Let me see. Maz, do you remember this call? I don't remember what I told her to do. I just want to make sure. Okay. What was my prescription? Just want to confirm. But you had that she should be prepared to end it? Right. So was it like the internal timeline situation? How long have y'all been seeing each other?
So it's been 3 months, and we basically see each other every other weekend.
Okay. Yeah, so Eva was saying that I added you should be prepared to end it. So if he's not ready, then you end it. So it must have been I told you to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Right? So that's it. The crackhead framing is perfect for these kind of conversations. So if you have like a relative who's like a crackhead or something, they're gonna say what they need to say to get crack, to get money for it. What's between your legs is crack, right? So people will say whatever they need to say to get another hit. No pun intended. All right. So this is why having these conversations is like, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of bullshit. Because
So you don't think he truly can be genuine? Like,
well, number one, you met him on the BOK app, so we're already starting miserably. You couldn't have had a worse start, beloved. Meeting on the BOK app. Two, I would salute this man if he told you that he was talking to other people, because if you're actively on the dating app, you're 1,000% talking to other people. 1,000% talking to other people.
well, he said that he doesn't have time, and I believe him because we both work crazy schedules, and literally the weekend that he has off, we see each other.
The entire weekend?
Every weekend that he has off and I have off, only his only weekend we see each other.
Okay. And y'all see each other for that entire weekend?
Yeah, well, just that one day, because he just has the Saturday. He works Sunday.
Y'all are long distance, right?
No, well, he lives like 40 minutes from me.
Okay, that's not long distance. Okay, let's assume that he is just talking to you. It's been 3 months. So what was his answer? He said that he just moved slow?
No, he didn't say that. I asked him, do you see me as long term? He said, yeah, he definitely does. And when I asked him out, is he seeing other girls? He was like, he doesn't have time for that. And he said, because of his work schedule, and he said he's only talking to me. And he said that it's really hard for him to let a lot of people in. So he just doesn't talk to anybody and invite anybody into his space. That's what he said. He's just real particular about that. That's the answer he gave.
How old is he?
35.
How long has he been single?
He told me 2 years.
How long was his last relationship?
It was 10 years.
10 years? Do you know how it ended?
He just said that she was young, acting, and that she was 5 years younger than him. And he said they tried to do counseling, but it didn't work out, something like that. But I don't know the whole truth. You know, he says one thing, but I don't really know what actually happened.
Right.
This is what he said.
Okay. Counseling is a good sign. Shows effort. Any kids?
No kids. He wants kids. He wants to be married. Like, we talked about this, and in the very beginning, I asked him, I said, I'm not looking for a situationship. I said, do you want to be married? Like, what are your goals? He said, yes, he wants to be married. He wants kids. He wants all of that.
Does he ever get vulnerable with you?
Yeah, well, he's told me stuff, about his family and stuff, like that he's gone through.
Mm-hmm. All right, love, if you want, you can give it 1 more month. 30 more days. And the only reason why I'm saying this is I'm not seeing a lot of inconsistencies in his story. His age, the fact that he doesn't have children, and the fact that his last relationship was 10 years long, I do like those.
Okay.
I do like those. A 10-year long relationship says that he can maintain something long term. He wasn't married to that person?
No.
Okay. That's a kind of a flag as well. But it happens. So he can at least sustain a long-term connection. Sounds like he tried to save the connection because they went to counseling. which means there's he puts forth effort into maintaining something. Not having children means that he's not reckless. Or it could mean that he's not reckless. He could just be vapid down there, right? Shooting blanks. Shooting blanks, that's possible. And the work schedule is plausible as well. So we'll see. But I would say another month and we're still like not really making any kind of progress. You just end it. There isn't any conversation that needs to be had.
So what? Like block him, or should I
No,
just
I
send
don't
a
mean block
text?
them.
Or
Yeah, you can just send a text. You can just send a text and just let them know. Because the general rule still stands, man. If the guy really likes you and he is emotionally available, normally within 3 months you'll see some sort of progression. I'm not saying it needs to be a relationship, but it should be like, oh, I want to be exclusive or something like that. Normally, because they don't want nobody else to have you. We don't want no one else to have you, right? We want to go ahead and lock you down because we can see how good of a option you are, and it's like, I gotta go ahead and get that. Gotta go ahead and lock that down. That's how we move. So if we're not moving like that, usually it's either because there's a lack of emotional availability, meaning the person does like you, but they don't have the capacity to be with anybody right now, or they don't like you that much.
I don't think of that.
Okay? So I'm only saying give it 30 more days because of some of the things you shared on this call. That's it. But after that, I would cut it off. You don't want to like wrestle someone into a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
The conversation you just had, put him on notice if that's what you're looking for. So if he is serious, he'll make a decision in the next 30 days. If he doesn't,
So the text message I sent after the 30 days should be like an ultimatum, like, are we gonna be together or not? Or just say,
no, you just leave.
just end it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. You just leave. The reason why is because you just communicated that that's what you're looking for. Right? You just had a conversation with him. So any reasonable person would understand, like a person with average IQ will be like, okay, this woman wants a relationship. If he does not do that, that means it ain't important to him to move into one. That's all.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay? But you're asking that question because you're still clinging to hope.
Yeah, I really like him. I
get it.
We have a good time together. Everything has been consistent.
I understand, but you got to stand on business here.
I know.
You got to stand on business. If you don't, you're going to keep making excuses. And then this is going to be like a 1.5-year situationship.
So I guess I'll reach out at the beginning of August.
Yeah. Follow back up with me, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right, dear. Take care. All right. No more calls. Y'all got me called out today. If you have a question, though, you could drop it in the chat. I'll answer it there. What was y'all's favorite call this evening? Favorite calls. If you're new here, make sure to follow, too. I go live twice a day. So if I didn't get to your question, I will get to it tomorrow at noon Eastern time. I also stream these lives on YouTube, so if you ever missed one, you can watch the replay on YouTube. Link in bio for that. YouTube channel is at The Signal Dating. The older lady, because I like hearing how old generation deals with things, right? You get good advice. Last was the most serious, though. Yeah. The one with the deep voice. Who had a deep voice? See, you gotta get out of heat someday. You're breaking the world record. You've been in heat for about 90 days now. I want to seek medical attention at this point. Doc, I've been horny for 3 months. I don't understand it. Man says he'll be somewhere and doesn't follow through. What does that mean? I need more details. She's talking about one of the female callers. She didn't confirm that. I don't go out much. I tend to recycle exes. You should go out more. How can one start to date again after beating cancer? In what way are you like still healing from cancer? Like, why is that a relevant detail? I enjoyed the 23-year-old call due to your overall response and advice. Appreciate it. When a man says he'll be somewhere then doesn't show up, what does that mean? I need more, Betty, I need more details, love. I think some of y'all think I have a crystal ball right here. I don't have a crystal ball. I need more details and I give you a better read. Yeah, Kiana. Cece has a pattern of talking about men with deep voices, so I already knew what she was talking about. I already knew what she was talking about. Cece, have you always been like that? Or do you, like when you hit auntie mode, do y'all just say fuck it and then just thirst in public? How does that work? How does that work? Something about when they become aunties, it's like, fuck it. Start salivating. No, that is not a functional auntie mode. I beg to differ. I see these TikTok comment sections. I beg to differ. Now you on point. Look at the woman thirsting over R. Kelly. Right. Yeah, you hit auntie mode. You turn to a Q dog, got this bit. It's like, yo, chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Gotta relax. All right. Relax. Tranquilo. Who gonna stop me? All right, you don't want a relationship. It kind of has the opposite effect. Is it possible to reunite with my ex after having a child together? I lost her trust because of the child. Like, what? How did you lose her trust? The way you structured that sentence was very confusing. How did you lose her trust? Did you cheat? What happened? I mean, we do go through another phase with hormones. Yeah. It was a cruel joke God played on y'all because it decreases the odds of you getting what you want. Decreases. You got like, you don't want construction worker energy, right? As a woman, you don't want to give off construction worker energy. Like, you got a hard hat on, whistling at a guy in a tight shirt walking by. Like, that shit don't work well. You gotta have some finesse with the shit. I was telling that with women who like DM first. Guys don't like that. No, they don't. At best, you are gonna be a fun night. What was I about to say? Lost my train of thought. ADHD is kicking my ass. I want a soft life. It's not how it works. Y'all gotta stop buying into these fantasies. The Bible promises like some degree of suffering. You may not be Christian, but you better stop watching these motherfucking TikTok videos of people like just showing y'all the The highlight reel of their life. There ain't no such thing as a soft life. That shit ain't real. Shit is not real. All right, what other questions do we have? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Where's the healthiest place to meet a man? It's not about, like, yes, the environment you date in is important, but what's more important is your, like, discernment. Is it okay for your ex to be on hands the day after a breakup? Nancy, where you been at? Nancy, do I just need to marry you? Let's just do it, Nancy. Nancy, let's just do it. All right? I don't want to see you struggle out here. I got you. Where are you located again, Nancy? I forgot. I gotta propose to Nancy right now. I don't like her struggling. You're in Texas. Well, guess what, Nancy? You're gonna love this. We're coming to Texas as a group August 14th through the 17th. We're going to Dallas specifically. Hannah, you stupid. We're going to Dallas, me and the mods, and we did a raffle for the chat. For y'all new here, you new people, y'all missed the raffle. We had like 5 slots for people to join us in the Airbnb in Dallas. And we already gave it out to the winners. But if you do want to pop out, you're free to come and join like the meet and greet. We'll have a meet and greet there. So you can book a hotel or something like that. Or if you're just in the area, you can come through. But it's August 14th through the 17th. I will have security. Some people with some psychopathic detachment, like Danny. Bobby's gonna be there as well. Danny is telling me that some people haven't paid yet, so we might have some more slots opening up. So if you want to, yeah, Bree Heard, you definitely need to come through. Nance needs to come through as well. Let's do that. Follow Danny, message Danny, just in case we have some people who do not pay. Me and Danny both put a stack up for the Airbnb, so to make the price cheap for everybody else. It's like $300 for the Airbnb. We both put a stack on that just to help out. All right. Big ass house, sleeps 23 people. So a TikTok meetup staying in the same Airbnb? No, we have 5 people from the raffle that we vetted who are staying in the same Airbnb. There's a vetting process. I don't want no weird energy, right? But if for whatever reason some people can't make it, follow Danny, message Danny, he'll send you a form and we'll do a redrawing if that's the case. How many people in total in the house? I think 14 people. Capped it at 14. It sleeps 23, but we capped it at 14. We're not having that many people in one house. Got a little pool in the back, little jacuzzi. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. We got a few people flying in, booking their own hotels, and they're gonna pop out for like the meetup and whatnot. So it should be a good time. I don't think anyone else does this who has like a TikTok live following. This is really cool. We're really building community over here. So definitely, if you're new here, make sure to follow, because we're gonna do more of these, probably once or twice a year. Me and Danny plan on doing seminars next year, so we definitely gonna hit a lot of spots. I gotta pop out to Toronto. Where else? Yeah, we're going everywhere. We're going everywhere. Appreciate you, Bobby. If I told my mom I was joining something like this, she would lock me up. Why? It's gonna be a good time. Be a good time. DMV, we might hit the DMV. Y'all got problems in the DMV though. I had like, it was like a month or so back. I had probably 12 people book coaching calls with me in the matter of 2 weeks, and they were all from the DMV. Danny said Chicago was next. Danny don't call the shots. But you know what? We might do Chicago next. How about that? We might do it. We might do it. How cold does it get in Chicago during Q1? Or Q4? He never said that. You trying to get us to come to Chicago? I like Chicago. Chicago's one of my favorite cities. Too late to pivot to Chi-Town. Now we're not going to Chicago, bro. We're going to Dallas first, and then we might do Chicago. I heard Chi-Town September is best. September's too close. I guess Q4 would be a bad idea because it's holiday season. People are already going to do traveling. So it will need to be Q1 next year. But we can do another one. So we'll probably do one Q1 and then the summertime. That's probably how we'll do it. Can't go back to Texas, love. We hitting Dallas, we got to go to a different state. DMV dating scene is annoying. That's what I've been hearing. I heard everybody are bougie. Is that true? Want some taxes hit? Right. See? Now we thinking. Now we thinking. You don't want San Antonio anyway. I've never been. I've only been to Austin in Texas. Chicago got to be spring or summertime. Well, then we'll probably do Chicago next summer. So Q1, we'll probably go somewhere warm like Florida, maybe Cali. Possibly Cali. Are you religious? I'm Christian. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Puerto Rico. I like the way you think, Lindsay. I like the way you think. Me and Danny's supposed to hit Paris. He thought it was bullshit. I was like, yo, you trying to hit Paris? And he responded, ball so hard motherfuckers won't find me. So I took that as a yes. But I'm serious about that. It's kind of on brand too, right? The city of love. I'm a dating and relationship coach. On brand. On brand. So we gotta pop out. We gotta pop out. We got anyone in the chat in Paris? Are you international? Yeah, we got, listen, I got clients. I was got off a call with a client in Scotland. He just finished a bowl of Lucky Charms. I said, what you eating, brother? So Lucky Charms, my friend. Oh shit. You trolling me? PR might be the move though. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We're gonna see. What's Shorty's name who always goes to Puerto Rico? What's her name? CJ, you know what I'm talking about? Bobby, I'm gonna hold you to that. What's her? She ain't been alive in a minute. What's her name? Little cute girl with green eyes. Little lisp. CJ, help me out here, brother. Do you know what I'm talking about? I forgot her name. Mislead the misled. That's who she was. That's who she was. Yeah, we gotta let Miss Lee know if we go to Puerto Rico. She stay out there. I think she like makes content for like from Puerto Rico. So again, if y'all want to pop out in Dallas, you must be following Danny, and you must message Danito, and he'll send you a form to fill out. We need to go buy boots and a hat when you come down to Texas. Come on, Nancy. Show me how it's done down there. Show me how it's done, baby. I'm going to let you be my personal stylist. That was Nadia's job, but she's fired because she's been watching the World Cup religiously. So, had to give her the boot. I let her pick out some boots and I gave her the boot. Need consistency. Consistency. Let me get some eyes on people who are actually going to come to Dallas. Love your content, learning so much. I appreciate you, love. We should do a boot night. We'll see. If I can pull off the fit, I'll do it. But I did not. The fits are already planned up here. I did not plan for boots. If I can pull it off, count me in. Kiana has been hyper fixating on what we're going to wear in Dallas. She's already trying to get us to have like a wear all black night as a team. Boots like $500. Won't be doing that. It's not worth it for me. It's not worth it to me. I told you I'm down for that. It's gonna be a little cheesy, but we can do it. Forget Dallas. Houston brings the vibes. We're doing Dallas because one of my mods stays in Dallas. So we're trying to make it convenient. One, she stays in Dallas, and then we have two other mods who are in California. So we wanted like a place that was like equidistant because I'm in North Carolina. Danny's in North Carolina. So it worked out better. Boot Barn has affordable boots. Okay. I may head out there. I gotta be honest. Typically an eyesore. Not my flavor. But I'll experiment a little bit with Nancy's tutelage. As long as she guides me and is gentle. You know, moving to South Carolina. Hey, you're gonna hate it. It sucks. But why are you moving to South Carolina? All I know is y'all gotta pull up in some fly fits. You know how I get it down, brother. My shit is very like simple though. I was about to take my whole family horseback riding, CC. I'm trying to coordinate dates. I saw a TikTok video. I was like, y'all trying to go horseback riding? Just let me know when y'all all off. Let's go do it. For work, my company. Okay. Nuclear engineering. Ooh, you're like Homer Simpson. That's what's up. That's what's up. Someone said, let's see, stand up. I'll sometimes post fits on like my story, so you gotta watch that. We're getting Danny right though. Danny has some god awful fits. Made me queasy. Like, Danny, what the fuck is going on, brother? What the fuck is going on? Queasy ass fits. But we're getting them right though. We're getting them right. Danny gonna be looking good in Dallas. Danny gonna be looking good in Dallas. We had a group chat just for his style. Like, yeah, it was god awful. God awful fits. I've told Danny this. I said, Danny, yuck. What's going on? What's going on, Danny boy? A lot of guys like that. They typically dress for comfort. So I told him, like, we're going to collectively combine our talents and get them right. So he'll like develop his own personal style when we come to Dallas. Probably say you're saying too much. I've already told the chat this before. As soon as Danny was like, oh yeah, I need to focus on this. I'm like, yep. I made a mental note. I'm something to talk to the chat about. We're good. Plus, it provided me an opportunity to have like that dating coach moment, like they have on movies. You know, in movies like if you watch Hitch or something like that, or Crazy Stupid Love, there's always a scene where they take the guy out to change his outfit, just his entire wardrobe. So Danny's like a guinea pig right now. So he about to pop out looking fantastic. He didn't even really need more clothes. We just like told him what to eliminate from his closet. And now he's like, he got a solid wardrobe on his hands. I don't know, but I think it's crazy to stay in an Airbnb with a bunch of strangers. It's not a bunch of strangers, bro. It's not a bunch. It's like 5 people. The rest of the people I already know. Got some upgrades in the chart. Gotta look out for the mods, man. We may add more mods at some point, but it's a grueling process. Because when you become mod, you become fam. You feel me? So the mods are fam. That's why I be snapping on people if they disrespect the mods. Like, that's the quickest way to get blocked over here. Quickest way to get blocked. Let's add Lindsay to the wait list for sure. For sure. Lindsay passes the vibe check. I've had people ask me mods before, and I'm like, it's a coveted position. Can't just become a mod, man. I gotta like you. So we got a cool crew coming with us. So hopefully the rest of y'all, some of y'all pop out for the meetup. Let me be clear. The meetup does not mean Airbnb access. Not the same thing. You can't just have random people come to the Airbnb. You know, very particular with these big ass houses. It's like, who's gonna be there? Give me a list. Anybody else there? They don't fuck with it. They'll kick you out. But you guys hang out outside of this live, so they're not strangers. I've never met any of my mods in person, but we like hop on calls together. I like a big group call. Multiple. We might have one tonight. So, pretty much. Plus, you have to also factor in this very important detail. I make a living by reading people. I make my living by reading people. So, I don't miss much. I can read you by having a very short conversation with you. I can read you by seeing what you put in the chat. I can read you by looking at your profile, seeing what you post, seeing what you repost. Your profile pic. I've been making a lot of inferences based off of the little bit of things people do. So you're not going to make it past this firewall. I can assure you that if you're a weird. Someone said, what are your qualifications to give dating advice? I have my PhD in dating. Yep. I went to college. They were like, what's your major? I was like, dating. They were like, we don't have that. I was like, oh, that's what I want. They were like, all right, I guess we'll make something. So yeah, so I got my PhD in dating. And that's why I give advice. Only one on the planet, by the way. So I think you really should listen to me. You really should listen to me. Some people are simple, bro. You know what I do? Like, qualifications are important, but you can also listen to somebody and just come to your own conclusion. It is very foolish to be like, well, this person has the degree. I guess what they say is true. That would make sense if everyone who has degrees agree with one another. They don't. If someone has a PhD, there are other people with PhDs who completely, emphatically disagree with them. So you can't just look at the degree as an indication that this person absolutely knows 100% factual information. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. You got to use your own discernment with this stuff. You got to use your own discernment. So if you hear me say something, you're like, that is bullshit. Fair. But I promise you, if you listen to me, you'll probably be like, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about. Never thought of it that way. Okay. I promise you. Speaking of which, they're eating me up on Instagram and Facebook right now. I took a clip from this live where I was telling this woman that like the situationships for women is the same thing as the friend zone for men, because both connections are one-sided. In the friend zone, the woman gets what she wants, but the man doesn't get what he wants. And then in a situationship, the man gets what he wants, and the woman doesn't get what she wants. And the bops are bopping, huh? The bops are bopping. The birds are chirping. The birds are chirping. So much chirping, I thought it was morning time. Oh, there's a lot of chirping going on. Is it? Go outside and enjoy some morning dew. It must be sunrise. A lot of bird activity. A lot of bird activity. It's like a semantic argument. Here's the biggest thing. They're over-indexing on my phrasing when I say they're exactly the same. And like, it's not the same because I don't sleep with my friends. It's like, idiot, obviously. You think you're a genius by like calling out that very obvious difference? No. I'm saying they're exactly the same in this way. That they're both the one-sided connections. And then you have other women being like, I'm getting exactly the same benefit he's getting in my situationship. Yeah, some of you are, but that's typically not how it happens. I think people forget that like I coach women too. Like I coach hundreds of women. Like I know what I'm talking about. The number one complaint is, how do I get him to commit? That's the number one complaint. What were the calls we had today? How do I get him to commit? That's the number one fucking complaint. Because they're in situationships. This isn't rocket science. They were arguing because they don't want to feel like they're being taken advantage of in this connection. So they have to disprove me so that they feel better about their decision by being used for their bodies. I'm using him for his body too. Right. You just turn oxytocin off. You just turned that off. That's what you did. As a woman, you bond through sleep, like fucking the same person over and over again. So you just turned that part of your brain off. You just willed it. Turn off oxytocin. You just did that shit. You had a software update. Come on. What are we talking about? What's the best way to connect with a confident woman without being too available? Best way to not be too available is to like be on your purpose and have other shit going on. You don't want to manufacture busyness. You want to actually live a life where it's like you're truly busy doing important, meaningful things. That's the first thing. And you connect just by being genuinely curious about that person. Trying to understand them. Offering a little vulnerability. That's it. It's not super complicated. Not super complicated. All right, people. I'm going to head out. If you're new here, make sure to follow. Like I said, if you love it but are crying in their Cheerios in the AM, right? They're just deluding themselves. You can tell because if someone really like didn't care, they wouldn't comment. That's the biggest thing on social media. If they really didn't care, they wouldn't comment. People commenting shows you that this shit is significant to them to some degree. Why are you so aggressively trying to prove to me that this is an okay situation? Because you know it's not. You're trying to make yourself feel better. But I digress. Like I said, if you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. You want to watch replays of these lives? YouTube at The Signal Dating. Link is in bio. And if you want coaching, just DM me the word coach and I'll send you a link to book your call. But appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow.